Hello, beautiful people. You are most welcome again to my channel. Today we are making egusi pudding, a highly addictive, exotic, savory dish that is widely enjoyed in Cameroon. Let's get cooking. So guys, this is the egusi we will be using to prepare our egusi pudding. Egusi is a wild member of the gourd family with very dry skin and bitter flesh. It looks the same as watermelon seeds but tastes quite differently. They are extremely nutritious, high in protein and oil. Okay, so you can see here I've got two types of egusi. The big eye egusi and the small eye egusi. Guys, always buy the big eye egusi, okay? Because it holds together. The small eye egusi doesn't work good for this recipe. So guys, that's said and done. I want to show you that before you prepare egusi pudding, you have to thoroughly wash your egusi. Guys, egusi comes from the forest. The mothers in the village, they dry it under the sun. Then they pick, they clean it up. They remove the hard shell from it. All that process, there's too much dust, and it is coming all the way from West Africa. Guys, you don't want to just cook your egusi as it is. And also, I do not encourage you to buy already ground egusi from the African store because they didn't wash it. It comes with a lot of unwanted particles in it, some stones, some peelings that were not properly removed. There are also some spoiled egusi among the good ones, so you want to separate that, and you want to wash your egusi to remove every dust and debris. Okay, wash it like you see me do, or you can wash it under your running tap. Okay, you can just put the egusi in a bowl, fill water, use your hand to stir it around, then every leftover peels will float on the surface. Then you just want to gently drain that out and repeat the process. You can wash it for about 3 times and that will be okay. Guys, now you remember we grind egusi with our coffee grinder. So you have to dry it under the sun, okay? You have to dry it for about 1 or 2 days depending on the temperature. Guys, I started prepping my egusi in the night, so you will see me here drying it first on my table. Before I spread it out, I did put a muslin bag underneath to absorb excess moisture and also to help it dry faster. Okay, yes, after drying my egusi in the house for the night, I took it outside the next day and I continued drying it until when I was satisfied with the dryness of the egusi. There only did I proceed to blend my egusi. Okay, keep watching. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I want to welcome you. Thank you for clicking on this video. I know it is a lengthy one, but egusi pudding is also one of those Cameroonian dishes that we don't cook in a hurry. Okay, you must follow due process, else you will end up with a mushy, uncooked egusi, or with a bitter taste egusi, or egusi that is very dry. Egusi is not supposed to be very dry, even though we want it dry in a way, but it's supposed to be moist, especially when you are eating it with something like bobolo or plantain. It does not have to be too dry, very dry things. Okay guys, yes, so thank you so much for visiting my channel. You are most welcome. Please feel free, feel at home. Okay, here I bring Cameroonian dishes. I bring also intercontinental dishes. I also do some DIYs. You will see me making some healthy oils. Okay, yes, please do not forget to like, share, comment. All right, also subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe, please kindly click on the post notification bell, which is just next to the subscribe button, so you get notified each time I upload a new video. with no cost, no extra cost to you. Okay, YouTube is bearing the cost. They just notify you that Real Life in Lucy's Kitchen has just uploaded a new video. Then you just click on the video and watch it. And when you watch it, please leave me a beautiful comment. Okay, it gladdens my heart to know that at least I am touching lives. It gladdens my heart to know that at least I am impacting my skills to other people. Okay, free of charge. You don't need to pay anything. But please, when you are watching my videos, do not skip the ads. Okay, those adverts that run on my video, that is how I get money. That is how YouTube gives me a cent from my labor. Please, 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 please. And to my return subscribers, you are most welcome. I want to appreciate you all for sticking by me all this long. Thank you so much. May God richly bless you. Please leave me a beautiful comment. Let me know how you prepare your egusi pudding. Okay? Have you ever eaten egusi pudding before? Yes, I know that there is that original egusi, the one our mothers use their teeth to crack. That egusi that looks the same like the real egusi. The peelings looks like the egusi. That is the best egusi, guys. If you can lay hands on that, then you are good to go. You don't need to add eggs or anything in your egusi. Okay, so guys, now you can see I am spreading my egusi. But while spreading, keep an eye, because you might miss some spoiled one while you were washing it. You might miss some peelings while you were washing it. So keep an eye and pick any unwanted debris from your egusi. Egusi is something you cannot afford to bite stone when you eat it. Please. Okay, now I'll spread it out in the sun the next morning. And because it's outside, I'm going to cover it with my cheesecloth. I cannot leave washed egusi open because there is still dust and there are birds outside. So you cover it with a cheesecloth. Okay? So guys, this is the next day. I am very satisfied with the sound I get from the egusi. I am satisfied the way it is dry. Now I will proceed to blend it, and I will introduce to you guys the rest of my ingredients. For the egusi pudding today, guys, I am using my egusi, well washed and dried, some fresh beef, some smoked fish, some crayfish, guys, some onions, some habanero peppers, salt, and some nut cube. Keep it simple, okay? You don't put any other spice in egusi, else it will overpower the taste and the smell from your egusi. So guys, you want to go ahead and parboil your meat. You don't need to cook this meat for even 10 minutes. Just 5 minutes is enough. All you need is the broth. You want the broth from the meat, okay? That sweetness, that goodness. So just add in some salt, add in your onions, and just 1 nut cube, and set it on fire. Let it cook for even 5 minutes. Take it out, because don't forget, you will still cook this meat while it is in the egusi. Okay, so that is the sense. If your dry fish is very dry, you can add it here and boil it together. All right, depending on the texture of your fish. Now guys, with my coffee grinder, I am going to grind my egusi into a smooth paste. Okay, I am doing them in batches because my coffee grinder is very small. If you have a food processor, you can just blend everything at once, but what I will not advise you is to use a blender with water, because egusi pudding actually does not really require a lot of water. Okay, you use your eyeball to measure the water. Now you can see I am blending my egusi, and I will be done. Behind the camera, you will just see I am done grinding all the egusi. Then I am going to go in with just a little bit of water. Guys, a little bit of water just to moisten the egusi. Like I told you previously, be very, very cautious when you put water in egusi. Egusi pudding doesn't require a lot of water, because remember, eggs will go inside. I am going to put fresh eggs inside this, which is also a form of moisture. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of oil also into the egusi, which is also moisture. So you don't want moisture coming out from water. Enough water like you see me do here, just to moisten the egusi. Then you will add your beef broth. That is the most important water to put in your egusi. You cannot afford to leave out your beef broth, or else your egusi will not taste. Okay? Guys, these nutritious seeds are widely consumed in West African countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone as a thickening agent in soups and to add depth to most soups. Okay, that is how they use it in other countries. Even in Cameroon, we use it. We can even make stew and put egusi. Sometimes when we cook vegetables, we put egusi. But today, guys, I am making the pudding out of the egusi. Hope you understand. So now you see me also blending my crayfish into a smooth paste. I will add that in my egusi. Guys, did you know that egusi is highly nutritive? It is high in protein and oils. Okay? Egusi contains 50% of edible oil and contains another 30% pure protein. Guys, this is packed with nutrition. Okay? So I would advise you eat egusi more often. Now you can see I am going to give it a thorough mix. I have added my chili, I have added my beef, I've added my dry fish, I've added my beef with the stock, right? Now I'm going to mix it. Guys, you can see it is very thick. That is because I want to go slowly with the water. But if you see that it is very, 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 very thick, you can add a little more water just to loosen it up. Not to make it watery, but just to loosen it up. Okay, give that a good stir. Guys, I can eventually perceive the aroma from the egusi, right? Remember I told you you only put onions. You don't add any other spices. You don't add garlic or ginger, whatever in egusi. It will overpower your egusi. At least you want to feel when you are eating egusi that you are eating egusi, okay? Let your dry fish be the aroma and the crayfish that you perceive from your egusi. Guys, I'm going to add 2 eggs, which will serve like a binder to my egusi. Okay, this is optional. Like I told you, if you are using that egusi which they crack with the teeth, the one that the skin is white, yes, don't add eggs in those. They are thick enough, they are binding enough. Okay, so this one I am adding a little 2 eggs just to serve as a binder. Okay, give that a good stir. Now you can adjust for salt. You can add a little bit of salt, and you can also add a little bit of bouillon cube or no cube or Maggi, whichever you are using. This is the time for you to add. Anything you forget to add, you cannot add after you have tied your egusi. Guys, egusi pudding is not like soup that you stir and taste. So make sure you remember, put all your ingredients together in a place where you will remember that, oh yeah, now I need to put this. Like you saw me do, I put all my ingredients on my workplace, okay, on my table. Now you add everything. You're adding the oil to moisten your egusi. You don't want the egusi to be too dry, okay, just for moistening the egusi. And also, if you are using something like leaf, if you add this oil, the egusi will not get stuck to your leaf. Guys, for the leaf, what I'll be using today is foil paper together with my parchment paper. Remember, when you read about the health benefits and disadvantages of cooking with foil, you wouldn't want to put your food directly on the fuel. That's why I am using a parchment paper. Okay, a parchment paper has food grade substance. It is made out of food grade substance. Okay, and any substance that the parchment paper is made of from does not enter your food, unlike fuel paper. Okay, the fuel paper is made out of what again? Aluminium, right? That aluminium enters your food and into your body, and too much aluminium is not healthy for you. It is a heavy metal. Okay, it is heavy metal. It will cause your joints to ache. It will cause your waist to ache, especially when you are aging. So it's not advisable to cook food or wrap food on fuel paper. So you have to protect the fuel paper with the parchment paper. Okay, if you're in South Africa, you get parchment paper on the baking aisles. When you go to where they put baking things, you will see parchment paper there. It is called baking paper as well. Okay, so you just want, I'm going to show you two methods of wrapping my egusi pudding. You either wrap it like this, okay, folding it like this and secure the edges. Okay, like you see me do, guys. Watch me. It is very secured, so water will not enter your pudding. Okay, now I'm going to put a plastic paper on it again, just to be 100% sure. Guys, egusi pudding is a steam food. Okay, water must not enter inside. Back at home, we use our banana leaves, plantain leaves, but since we don't have such here, we have to improvise. Okay, and while improvising, try much as possible to make it healthy, so you consume healthy food. You don't endanger the lives of your family just because you want to give them egusi pudding, right? So this is another method I will show you. So I used both methods. And guys, I am going in with some boiled eggs. That is just to garnish it. It's nothing much. You can omit that. Okay, yes, just adding boiled eggs to mine. Then you will fold the two parts together. Then you will gently start folding them like you see me do. Fold it like you see me do. Okay, and then you secure the top part, and that is it. You're done. Okay, so now after tying all of your egusi pudding, now you want to cook it in your pot. Okay, add as much water that can cook your egusi without drying out. I cooked my egusi for 1 hour 30 minutes. You can exceed to 2 hours. It depends on the strength of your fire. Okay, of your stove. So guys, now we are going to set our egusi on fire, and after 1 hour 30 minutes, guys, it should be looking like this. And voila, our egusi is ready. Guys, here is our egusi, all cooked and ready to be served. You can enjoy your egusi pudding with some bobolo. You can enjoy it with some miondo, guys, plantain. You can eat it as it is on its own, or you can eat it with some boiled plantains, like I said, cocoyams, boiled potatoes, some yam. Okay, so guys, I want to thank you so much for watching up to this length. Okay, I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. Guys, comment down below and tell me how you prepare your egusi pudding. Comment down below and ask me any question, and I will respond immediately. Until next time, guys, when I come again with another recipe, I want you all to stay safe, stay healthy, and bye-bye.